Hey everyone, today we have something new on the channel. I'm going to be showing you my minimalist bullet journal setup for 2019. And if you've never heard of bullet journaling before, it's basically a very flexible analog system that helps you keep track of your goals, your to-dos, your schedule, and also your significant events and milestones as a way to stay organized and motivated. We are going to do a flip through of this notebook, so if you just want to get inspired or maybe you want to learn how to start a bullet journal yourself, you've come to the right place. I'll teach you, and you'll also get to see how I plan my weeks and my content schedule. Alright, let's dive in. So up until recently, I've never been a big journaling person myself, to be honest. I've always used several digital planners to keep track of my tasks and to stay organized, but I've never been able to find a single one that fits my life well and that really works for me, and therefore I've been mixing and matching several ones at the same time. What made me start this bullet journal is that you get to create your own system according to your life. The journal is empty before you use it, so you get to decide what it looks like and what you want to incorporate. I'm also a bit of a stationery geek myself, so that's part of why I love it too. I'm using the Leuchtturm 1917 notebook. I hope I'm pronouncing this somewhat right. It is a special bullet journal edition. After doing some research, this one seemed like a good choice. I especially love that the pages are dotted instead of lined, and also that the pages are already numbered. I will link it in the description if you want to take a look, as well as some of the other videos that I used for inspiration. But really, you can use any notebook that you love. Alright, opening up the journal onto the first page, which is a key. This is already filled in because this is a bullet journal edition, but you can decide if you want to use a key or not, and you can just add it to your notebook. I find it quite useful. You can do a simple dot for a task. You can cross an item through if you've completed it. You can also migrate tasks back and forward through the weeks, which is a standard part of bullet journaling. Then you can use a line to add a note, a circle to add an event, cross through a specific task if it turns out to be irrelevant, or give a task priority by adding a little star. This notebook leaves room for entry of your own keys as well, and you can just add this to your own notebook. Moving on to the next page, this notebook comes with a few notes explaining how bullet journaling works, giving you a few pointers. And then there's an index. This is already filled in, but again, you can just add this to your own notebook if you want. I find it quite useful because since this notebook is empty from the start, as you're adding pages to it, you want to be able to find them in the future easily, and that's where the index is for. So whenever you add a new page to your notebook, you add it to the index as well with the page number. Moving on to the next page, we get to my future log. And the future log is an important part of any bullet journal also. It has basically an overview for the entire year. And since I started my bullet journal in October, I started my future log in October as well, and then I added all the months of 2019 as well. Now the future log, as I said, is an overview for the entire year. You can choose what you want to add and how you want it to look. It's important to not add everything you've got going on in every month into this overview, only the important things that you don't want to forget. You can add them in here, and I drew those little calendars on myself, and I really like how this came out. I added all the months of 2019 to this overview as well, and then we get to the next page, which is a quote by Lao Tzu: "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." And I really love this quote, and I wanted to add it to my notebook to remind myself that yes, it is good to be productive, yes, it's great to get things done, but it's also really nice to take breaks, to not take everything too seriously, and to also take time to let things take their natural course instead of forcing them to become quicker or better, which is something that I find really very helpful. Moving on to the next page, we get to my monthly log or monthly schedule, and you can decide what you want to incorporate in it and how you want to design it. I choose to get a content calendar because that's obviously very important to me. This is not filled in completely yet because I wanted my content to be a surprise, so I only filled in the last 3 videos that are already up. And I chose to incorporate every day of the month, even though I usually upload only on Saturdays. This way I can have flexibility. If I want to change a day or if I want to add another video, I can always pencil this in. And then I went ahead and added a little index so that my to-dos for the videos become a little bit more broken down. I added scripted, filmed, edited information, so that's the description and the thumbnail and the tags and all that. Schedule the video, Twitter, and added it to my website. This way I can have all kinds of little to-dos that I can just check off whenever I've completed them, which feels very nice. And then I made this content calendar for the rest of the year as well. And then is where we come to my lists. And the first list that I added is a video ideas list, which used to be on my phone, but I really like that it's in my notebook now. Whenever I get inspiration or an idea for a video, I can add it to this list. I don't have to grab my phone. I can just grab my notebook and pencil it in there, which is something that I really love. I'm guessing these 3 pages will get full quite fast, but then I can always add new ones later on. Moving on from this list, we get to the next one, which is a YouTube learnings list. So whenever I watch a video on YouTube about how to make videos or how to optimize search engine results, things like that, I can add it to my YouTube learnings list so that I won't forget, or if I have something to check out, maybe a new camera app or a new YouTube analytics studio, I'll add it to this list so that I won't forget. Next up, we have a few more lists. On the left, we have a books list. Whenever I hear or read about a book that I want to read, I can add it to this list. I have a specific section for fiction books as well as non-fiction books. And then on the right, I have a don't forget to list. I really love this one. I used to be someone who had post-its and small refrigerator notes everywhere, things that I didn't want to forget, and now I can just add them to this list in my notebook, and I know that I won't forget them, and I can just let go of thinking about them, which is very helpful for managing stress. On the next page, I have my wish list. I've talked about this on the channel before. Whenever I feel like I want something or need something, I can add it to my wish list, and I added it to my notebook as well. First up is a category for my wardrobe, then I have a category for my home, then I have a separate category for everything regards to my channel, and then I have an other category, so basically anything that doesn't fit in those other 3 ones. And I find it very helpful to break down everything on my wish list this way and just ponder whether or not to actually go and get it, or scratch it out if I change my mind. And after all these lists, we get to the next page, which is my weekly calendar. I filled this in for 2018. Every week gets its own page. This is something that a lot of YouTubers do differently. I decided to do 1 page for each week and only write a to-do list for that week. This way I can be flexible of when I'm going to do these tasks. I don't want to actually fill in my days beforehand. I like to be a little bit flexible with my to-do list, and then I added a little notes section as well. If anything comes up in a specific week that I need to take into account when planning my tasks, I can write it in that little notes section below. Now, this was actually pretty quick to set up. 1 page took me around 1.5 minutes for each week. And I really like that because a lot of weekly spreads I've found on YouTube look really pretty, but they take up lots of time to make. And I found that I'd rather spend the time doing the actual tasks on my list than making my weekly spread. So this is how I chose to design it right now. And if I want to change something for 2019, I can always do that later. I chose to not add everything to this list. So for example, cleaning or exercising, these are things that I'm doing basically every day. So I decided to not add them to my to-do list because I wanted to have it simple and short and not feel overwhelmed by all my tasks. So I'm only adding the things that I really want to do work-wise or personal-wise that don't really recur on a daily basis. All right, let's flip through to the last page of my notebook as of today, which is the start of 2019, and I chose to end this year and start the new year with another quote that I really love. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. I really love this because again, it reminds me that it is okay to accept where we are today, to accept that there are things that are out of our control, and just accept where you're at and just do what you can. I find it very motivating. And it helps me to not want to force things to be different or better or faster, and just do what I can and enjoy my days and enjoy the process. As always, thanks for watching. Give the video a big thumbs up if you want to help out, it really helps. And subscribe if you haven't already. I hope to see you all again next week. Have a great day. Bye bye.